Greece played with pure emotion last night after the shock death of a teammate. In any sport, when you come up against an opponent playing with passion and emotion, it's always tough. The England players had about as much enthusiasm for this international break as the fans. That's from Niall in Liverpool. Morning, gents. There's a lot of talk about Lee Carsley. However, it's already been said that the formation has been used successfully by teams in the past. However, I watched the game and just thought that the players were not on it. Some of the best players in the world, but looked like Sunday pub league players. Some of the passing was woeful, and as already said, the defending was really poor. These players should be able to adapt to different formations. In short, the players need to take some responsibility for the performance. Great show. That's Carl, the Villa fan. The calls coming in absolutely non-stop. Keep them coming. 03717 223344. We will try and get to as many as we can. Bob is an England fan. Hello, Bob.
Morning, Sam. How are you doing?
Yeah, very good, mate. What do you want to say?
Sam, I watched that and listened to your commentary last night, and I'm bitterly disappointed, blended with fury. That was woeful. I warned about this in talkSPORT when the Boo Boys were out against Mr. Southgate. I said, be careful what you wish for. We under Gareth, we'd have won that game last night. His game management and how he set the team up would have been perfect. Lee Carsley can't get the job after this. A team in 40-odd positions. We want to be dining at the top table of European football, and to be sitting there, getting beat to Greece. And by the way, I think you mentioned Greece had the ball in the net 5 times.
Yes, I did.
All right, a couple are offside, but come on, that's flagging up.
Well, they should have won by more, shouldn't they, Bob? Let's be completely honest.
Well, the sad reality is yes, and as an English nation and England fans, we don't want to be seeing that at any level at all. That should have been reversed. Should have been the other way around.
I'm going to let Crook answer you in just a second, but first of all, I just need to clarify. You definitely are an England fan because you've got a tinge of a Scottish accent there, Bob. Just explain that.
Don't worry about the accent. I can't help the accent, but my heart's with England.
Okay, all right. Just interested.
Bob, I think you're spot on because history tells us that Gareth did usually beat the teams that England are expected to beat, but he came up short in those big games against the major nations. So I don't think we should rewrite history here and say that just because Lee Carsley has found an audition last night, that Gareth Southgate was a brilliant England manager, because the fact is he wasn't.
Well, he took us to 2 finals and he took us to a semi-final of the World Cup. Yeah, I know, and we know that. We're not trying to rewrite history.
It's all right, Bob. Both me and Troy are shaking our heads at him.
No, it's just the man got us to a place where we hadn't been since 1966.
Exactly.
He got us, and he improved the team. Even his conduct and how he handled the press, which is pretty heavy in our country. He handled it with dignity. You couldn't have anything but respect for Mr. Southgate. And I just thought last night just showed how short Lee Carsley is on so many levels. And I can't see it. He cannot get the job after this.
Okay, Bob, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Great call. 03717 223344. Lots of people want to have their say on this. Keep them coming. Let's face it, Carsley was never going to be the next England permanent manager. Last night cemented that. The FA need to act now and appoint Howe or Potter or another before the November internationals. That's Mossy, the Leeds fans. One thing I will say is a lot of the narrative around this has been these are meaningless games. It was okay to try and experiment because they don't matter, these Nations League games, etc. So they really matter. They matter for this reason. Do you want to go into the next cycle of the Nations League playing Greece, Finland and Ireland, or do you want to be able to test yourself against Germany, Spain, Netherlands and France? If you want to do the latter, then you've got to get promotion. The only way to get promotion is to finish top of the group, not second. Second takes you to a playoff, and you don't know what's going to happen in a playoff. It also delays your qualification for the World Cup, the qualifiers. So I think it's imperative that England get out of this group, but they can only do that if they keep winning.
Absolutely. And it's hard to disagree. I'm just trying to come from the... Excuse me, 1 second. Excuse me. Coming from the other side of the coin is, with Gareth Southgate, we sat in this chair and in loads of other chairs for 8 years saying, yes, we get to a point and then we don't have a plan B. So when are we supposed to practice the plan B? When are we supposed to try a plan B? Because there's no real friendlies as such anymore, is there? There's a lot of Nations League and every game is.
Finland might have been the time to do it,
or even in Helsinki on Sunday. This was always the most difficult game of this round of fixtures. So why experiment there? And also, we could see it was going badly at half time. They had a couple of let-offs, didn't they? The one cleared off the line, the goal disallowed. Why not just admit at half-time, this is not working, get a striker on, because the game is still
there
for you to go and win at that stage.
There's still but at 0-0 there's still a chance for you to go and win it and try and impact it, and then have your chat with the. This is the frustration, right? It's always easy from a sideline to go, change it at half-time, put this person on, put that person on. If you do it at half-time and they lose the game is exactly the same, they lose, what they're going to say?
Well, actually, the game didn't really change once they made the changes.
Nothing really changed different. It was one of those days. Sometimes as well, by the way, it can happen. It's one of those games where everyone's 1 or 2% off it. And at that level, it is huge.
And Greece, we probably should need to mention,
absolutely.
were playing above themselves. They were definitely trying to prove a point. And again, they were playing on emotion.
You touched on it earlier, sending thoughts and condolences to Sam's family. Obviously, a difficult time, not only for them, but for the nation of Greece as well. So their level may have raised 10, 15, 20%. Things like that does happen. But my point to what he said is, admit that you've got it wrong and change at half-time. No, at half-time's his opportunity to go, right, this isn't working. Let's give it 10 minutes, 15 minutes to do these things. That if we get these things right, it'll be better. The defending was poor. That's not a coaching point of view.
Didn't pick a left-back.
We didn't pick a left-back in the Euros.
Well, eventually, that
do you know what I mean? I know, but my point is, it's like there's not 15 left backs that we go, we can choose through it.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.